Yo, welcome to the journey. Poetry in progress. This right here is chapter 1. We go call this one Seeds of Inspiration. Hey, let me tell my story. Let's go. They say a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a simple step. This journey began when a teenage kid with something to say put pen to paper. This is a story of learning, growth and owning of one's craft. It's poetry in progress. Mental liberation still remains the goal. The conversation room only a stepping stone. Who would have thought I would move from the new life stage to killing it so good on a bittersweet stage? Even had Joey and Christian asking, Imalita Zinabwa. Still remember how when my mom first suggested it, I said there's no way I could write a piece and master it. Now I've written over 100 pieces, performed more times than I can count. Moved from watching Joseph Solomon on YouTube to meeting him in person and hearing him tell me I'm that dude. I've had people call me Yo TGV. I don't even know who they are. That ain't pride, it just means I worked so hard my name went before me. Never thought I would bring this craft this far. It's been a long time coming, but this journey has not been without trials and tribulations. Started out in a poetry group with a bunch of talented dudes and dudettes. They mock justice. Moved from teens having fun in the backyard to having a whole church give us a whole Sunday service. After I got comfortable in the church, Killer introduced me to the clickers. Shout out Gabby, GB and Act with Mr. 902. You gave the boy the confidence he needed to fly. It was from that platform that Jericho Must Fall was born. They called me Moses. And while I wanted to free God's children from mental captivity, I felt more like Joshua, cause I always believed I would be the one to finally get them into the promised land. The clickers exposed the boy to a new world. Cable and Rubik's pushed me to be me just by them being themselves. On this very platform I met the dynamic trio, Walia, Real Talk and Sa Woofy, or as most of you would know him, Color Culture's very own CEO. Don't know if he believed it or was just being friendly, but he told me poetry like mine belonged on the bittersweet stage. That right there is what flipped the page to another chapter in my life. Chapter in my life. Chapter in my life. It's TGV. Small town poet just hit the big stage. Everybody dreamed bittersweet in those days. My early phase, genesis of my sowing ways. I remember my first audition. Mouth dry, palms sweating, hoping the judges give me a standing ovation. Halfway into my piece, a guy with a big black beard and glasses cut me off. No need to hear more, he said. Tolling guy confirms, kids got flow, he said. Does that mean I'm in? I kept thinking in my head. Your boys got wings now when it's flying. If I don't say bittersweet was a big part of my journey, I'll be lying. Met friends that became brothers. Jet 5, TMC, TCM, On Course and many others. Got connected to Legend Son. Hooked me up with my first instrumental. Mixed and mastered my first piece. Still remember being in the So Good studio. Superman walking in and out the room, repeating the hook to my joint. Critic asking insightful questions about the birth of this joint. Killer asking, who hooked you up with this sick beat? From not being sure I would make the cut to being sure I would never get cut. Got lost in the feeling of satisfaction one gets, making the crowd forget to snap. It became about how many stages I could hit in a month, not how many mindsets I could shape or help escape from mental captivity. And that's began the downfall of this young king. I traded peppers for a need to be crowned, measured my worth using the applause of a crowd. When I was offered a chance to battle, I took it. Got pointers from Malachi and I killed it. What I didn't realize is that I entered a different world in which I would fall prey to the temptation of technique. It's TGV.
Welcome to chapter 3, Temptation of Technique. That's right, my pen game is unique, clean cut, I'm slick. My poems are both a beautiful physique. My tongue be weightlifting every time I spit. How dare you think you could go toe-to-toe with me? King is the only thing I respond to. My flow cold might just catch a flu.
Listening, this was meant to be the year of my christening.
007, my positioning, transitioning from a saint with a mission to save to a killer trying to prove he a real spitter. Didn't realize the uniqueness in my style was the only thing I was killing. This point in my journey was trying to prove I'm that guy. Was ready to take on every heavyweight, snatch the keys from the keepers of the gate. Had to lose a couple slumps to realize I was tripping. I mean, I never really got last place, but whoever remembers you for coming second. I always made the cup, but not winning had me thinking I'm not good enough. This chapter was pretty rough. Ever looked into the mirror and not recognize who you see? Never take it lightly when I say I'm just trying to be me. Cause I know what it's like trying to be somebody else. To get lost in the temptation of technique. Losing slums knocked me off my feet. Back to the reality that not every shoe is a perfect fit. First loss was sponsored by Oncourse. Taught me that experience was not a quality you should undervalue. Next loss was to Chindo what the bittersweet slam. Taught me to never let the crowd determine your value. My last loss was to Creed. It taught me the power of being deliberate with your craft. I literally turned all my L's into lessons. Learned to trust my gut, my inner artist. If it don't feel right, then I'm forcing what should be natural. Writing should be as natural as breathing. But the temptation of technique had me in a chokehold. Had to take some time to step away from the noise. And in the silence, I heard a voice say, radical belief, the kind of naive that gives birth to relief, driven by a fire that burns from deep within, fueled by ideas of what life should be. Stuck between a rock and a hard place, the point between life and death. It feels like the end of the line, so all that's left to do is look back and give thanks for the journey. For the moments of joy, the lessons learned in that moment, you can be nowhere but here. So you let go, give in to the fear. Light the candle's moment of silence for the death of your will. Life beat you so bad you lost the ability to feel. Lost touch of what's fake and what's real. You can fight no more, so you just sit. You sit and wait. You wait and hope. With time, you heal. It's in the brokenness that you see your true beauty. It's at the point of your weakness that you realize your true strength. Something about having nothing left to give makes you the best person to receive. Something about a complete loss of faith gives birth to true belief. It's in the silence that you hear your true voice, calling you to embrace your innermost desires religiously. The essence of that which you seek is realized in the presence of everything that isn't it. It's a season of appreciation, a test of your true will, the story of a rose that grew from the concrete. It's the principle of balance, a story of purpose. Why do you write? It's a simple question but profound in nature. Its answer clears the fog and gives you clear sight. I write as a form of expression. I write to light the fire that will burn inside you so bright they can't claim they don't see you. I write for how you feel when you hear me put into words how you feel. I write to educate and inspire everybody looking and listening to me. I write for you. I write for me. I write for us. It's TGV.
You know, I mean, a good talk about how you're a new creation and whatnot. This right here is exactly that. Within every ending is a new beginning. Purpose for living, that's a given. I think I've finally found my rhythm. Now I wanna make the world dance to it. Fighting to keep my dreams alive and still secure the bag. Grew up wishing I could see into the future, but I'm learning to stay present cause the now is a gift, and so I wrap myself around it. Learning to give it my all every day. If this was my first and only piece, would it let you know who I am? The name is TGV, and I'm just trying to be me. Shine so bright they can claim they didn't see me. I'm the kid that started just so I could have a place in the church, but now has hopes of shaping mindsets with those words. I'm not fighting for crowns now, I'm building my own throne. My early morning routine is shadow boxing, cause the only person I'm trying to beat is the past me. Been in the kitchen, yeah, Chef TGV been cooking. The secret ingredient is my DNA. That's right, I said it, the name is TGV. I have a dream to lead my people to mental liberation. Domino effect, the medium through which we will shape these minds. The conversation room only a small part of the bigger picture. To one day be driven by police escort, cause I will be an issue of national security. To be a vessel through which God's glory will be seen as a reality. A defender of truth, a custodian of love. Ladies and gentlemen, it's TGV.